You know what the financial Bible says about pleasing people? It can wreck you, and it will wreck you, my brother, my sister. Hello. I'm Chisom Eze, and you are welcome to my YouTube channel, The Roadside Investor, where we provide you with the tools that can help you on your wealth creation journey to financial freedom and personal growth. If you're just joining us here for the first time, welcome. I hope you like what you see and then decide to stick around by watching our already published videos and our future videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. I see what you do. I see your views, likes, engagement, everything. Thank you. Please give this video a thumbs up because it helps my YouTube algorithm. YouTube is going to push this video to many other people as long as it keeps getting that thumbs up. So I intend for this video to be quite short, honestly, like 5 to 10 minutes. And I will be killing two birds with one stone in this video. I'll be talking about peer pressure and how external people can influence your financial behaviors. In fact, in my last video, if you haven't watched it, you should go and watch it. I talked about bad financial habits that can wreck you. In that very video, I mentioned 7 categories of people that can influence your financial behavior. And I mentioned parents, I mentioned peers, teachers, professionals, close associates, friends, and salespeople. Now, I've decided that to drive my points home, and just letting you know how these people actually affect our finances, I will be storytelling. I will be telling stories based on each and every one of them, so you can really understand and let it click that wait, wow, these categories of people really do affect our finances. Now, let's start with how friends affect your financial behaviors. So personally, this is actually a story that is close to home. I had this friend, and she was just at a point in her life where her finances were tight. She had pressing things to actually spend money on, right? And unfortunately, that period where she was going through it was when a group of her friends decided that, you know what, let's have a girls' trip, let's travel out and things like that. And of course, my friend, she was going through it, right? And she reached out to me. That's how I got into this whole story. She reached out to me and she was requesting for a loan. Oh, can I lend her some money? And of course, like, she's my friend and we're cool like that. I asked her, like, what do you want to use it for? And she explained what she intended to use the money for. So she wanted to lend money from me so that she could go for her girls' trip with her other friends, despite what she was going through at that point financially. She was willing to go into debt to be able to do that with her friends. And of course, I asked her and I said, why can't you just tell your friends that, right now it's not a good time, that financially you're not just there to make such impulse expenses? And she said, that she didn't want to feel like she didn't have money and all those kind of things. So the crux of the problem was that, at least that when I realized that the crux of the problem was that she also wanted to feel among, right? She didn't want to look like the person that wasn't doing well financially at the time. And because of that, she was willing to go into debt. Can you take a moment to think about that scenario? This is a life story. This is a life story, and you can see how directly or indirectly your friends can actually affect your finances, definitely. So it's up to you to now know where to draw the line. It's up to you to know where you stand when such things come up. So if you know that something is detrimental to your financial health at the time, you have to do something about it. So how did this story end? Of course, I spoke some sense into her. That's me, another friend that's about to affect her financial behavior, right? I spoke to her, knocked some sense into her, and let her know that I actually won't be borrowing her some money for what she mentioned, that it's better for her to have a conversation with her friends as regards this. After much ado, she reached out to her friends. She explained what was going on, at least the information she was willing to share, and let them know that please, in case of the future, let's have a time frame to plan for such things, not doing things impromptu. Because believe me, friends tend to be oblivious of the financial situations of their other friends. If I'm someone doing well financially, I would most likely assume that everybody is on that level. Everyone I know is on that level, right? So you have to always call your friends to order when you think that what is about to be done is financially detrimental to you. So that's that on how friends affect your finances. Let's go on to talk about parents. Now, some weeks ago, there was this news on Twitter. Like, there's no day that gist is not on that app. The story was about a guy who had a pregnant wife, and he got his mother a car, and then the pregnant wife decided to file for divorce because she was heavily pregnant and she didn't have a car of her own. So she's of the opinion that if you're going to buy a car, why not buy a car for me? Like, your mom cannot be driving and I'll be trekking pregnant, right? That was what the conversation was really all about. And trust Twitter. Twitter is a street of hot takes. So for the sake of this video, to drive my point home, I'll be taking a look at this particular story from another angle, right? So how many of us are guilty of trying to please external family members at the detriment of our own financial health? I'm asking you, are you guilty of that? I mean, like, it's a tricky situation to be in. So this is a no judgment zone, and there's always a reason to why we do what we do, right? So let's imagine now that this particular man in question, his mom asked him for that car through emotional blackmail. If you're a Nigerian, you know how that can be, especially when you're a son from a typical traditional home, parents that are quite very traditional with things, and your mom comes and asks you for a car and like ask you using emotional blackmail of some sort, that kind of thing, like, I'm your mother, I gave birth to you, you suckled, all these kind of things. Bear in mind that this is a man who is about to have a child, who is supposed to be financially planning with his wife on behalf of that child. They have a lot of expenses coming on, right? I'm also assuming that this is a man that is not so financially buoyant. I mean, if the person is financially buoyant, you can easily buy your mom a car and also buy your wife a car, but that wasn't the question. So I'm assuming that this man wasn't financially buoyant, right? So he's currently tight on cash, right? And his mother asks him for a car, and he goes ahead to buy the car. And now guess what? He still has a child that is unborn, a child that they have to financially plan for. Expenses upon expenses are on the way. And let's even assume now that before the child came, they already had a budget that they were following, like, okay, this is how much we need, this is how much we would save to get to where we need to be, at least before the child is born. So basically now there is pressure to raise more capital in a shorter period of time. And from this story, I hope you can see how parents can actually also affect your financial health. In fact, they if you ask me, they even have the most power to, at least in this part of the world. The last story I'll be telling is actually a personal story that concerns me, that affected me, and I'll be using this story to drive home peer pressure, right? So I remember back in secondary school, then that was when, ICM, ShopRite and all of that was the thing. And it was a place where all popular kids had gone to. It was always a conversation in the class. Oh, have you gone to ShopRite? I went to ShopRite. I watched the movie there. All those things. And I heard it so often and I wanted to go as well. Mind you, I'm not someone that goes out. I'm a homebody. I can stay at home for weeks and I'll be totally fine. But I wanted to go to this particular place, not because I wanted to go there, but because a lot of people that my peers had gone there, and I felt like I was, I felt pressure to also want to go there as well. So I wanted to feel among, I wanted to do the same things that cool kids were doing. And of course, if you're going to ShopRite, you're not using your teeth to pay for what you would enjoy there. It's finances. So, this makes this, the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, many of us are making financial decisions because we feel pressured to do so. We are bothered about what other people's perception of us are. And let's not talk about now that social media is the thing now, and obviously nobody is going around posting the bad things that happen in their life. Everybody's having fun on Instagram, wearing the best clothes, and it just makes you wonder that, what about me? Like, I want to show off too. If you're that kind of person, you also definitely have to be extra conscious and you have to work real hard so that peer pressure would not get to you. Do you get? So yes, I was like that in secondary school, but right now I'm at a point where there's no peer that wants to pressure me, especially in a way that it affects my finances, right? So it's a good place to be, and I will also encourage you to be there. So basically, what I'm asking you to do is to prioritize your financial health over needing to flaunt what you don't have or purchase what you don't need. Because when you're in financial crisis, these people that you're trying to please will not be there to bail you out. If something is too expensive for you, don't purchase it. If your friend invites you out and you're currently tight on cash, don't go. Sorry, I can humbly decline. Sorry, I cannot make it. In this financial race that we are, you have to understand that there are people, your friends, your families, your peers that are already higher than you in this race. Some of them are from very rich homes. Some of them were fortunate to have good jobs or things like that. And there are people that are also they're also below you, lower than you are. It's just what it is in this financial race. You just have to realize this is where you are. Run your own race. Try to, get better financially without comparing yourself or allowing peers to pressure you. So I'm going to talk about how salespeople affect your finances. Same thing with teachers, but I think it's very glaring. Salespeople, the first thing that comes to mind when I say salespeople are influencers. Those are the salespeople of our time. You see them, they wear nice things, they tag where they got it from. They are prompting you to go and check that page out and buy. They are influencing you, and many times people are fond of buying things unplanned or on impulse in a way that it affects their financial health. Salespeople play a major role in that. So it's important for you to be aware of these kind of things when they happen. And of course, lastly, teachers, close associates, they also play a major role. Your teachers, right from childhood, teach you. That's what they do, and directly or indirectly, they also impose their beliefs on you. So if someone that is your teacher has a very negative view about money, you will definitely get to know from their comments. If any of the sort arises, you get to know what they feel about money, and you might even take that home and start practicing it and things like that. So you just have to be aware of everything, basically every category of persons that can affect your financial health and you have to be able to filter which one is good and which one is not good. Now, which one is good? Getting financial advice from professionals. So if you are in a state where you have serious financial issues and you need someone to talk to, I'm here to tell you that your friend is not the best person to talk to. Your parents are not the best persons to talk to, unless those people are financial professionals. Then it's fine. But aside that, the first people you automatically run to, like your friends, families, and all of that, are not usually the best people to give you the best financial advice that you need. So have that in mind. You can always consider certified financial educators like myself, in view, certified financial advisors, and the likes, right? So that's pretty much it. I think I've exceeded the 10 minutes I intended for this video. I'll crop a lot out, but I hope I've been able to drive my point home. Peer pressure is a no-no, and I hope you're now aware of the categories of people that can affect your finances. Filter down to the ones that are healthy for you. So this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found it educative. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my other video, which is going to be one of these. Click it and I'll see you there. Bye.